The Stoics, an ancient school of philosophy, believed that true strength lies not in conquering external forces, but in mastering our own emotions. In today's world, this wisdom is more relevant than ever. Have you ever felt drained by negativity after interacting with someone? Toxic people can disrupt our mental well-being, leaving us feeling frustrated and powerless. But what if there were practical strategies to navigate these difficult dynamics? We'll go over 4 practical Stoic-inspired ideas in this video that will give you the ability to handle toxic people with compassion, grace, and even resilience. Join me on a journey to protect your emotional well-being, and subscribe to the channel for more tips on developing mental resilience. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with a toolbox of Stoic wisdom to handle toxic people effectively. So, take a deep breath and let's begin. Number 1. Identifying and understanding the toxic threat. Take a moment to picture yourself serving as a guard at the entrance to your very own personal citadel. Your inner tranquility, physical health, and emotional safety are all represented by this citadel. Without a doubt, awareness is the first line of defense in the process of protecting this fortress. In the same way that a watchful guard has to be able to notice potential dangers, you need to be able to recognize the indicators that a poisonous individual is approaching you. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was a proponent of reason and self-control, tells us in his Enchiridion that it is not what happens to you that upsets you. More importantly, it is your judgment of what happens. It is especially important to keep this piece of advice in mind while dealing with poisonous people. It is not the case that their negative attitudes and manipulative acts have the ability to exert force over you. Your emotional reaction to these activities and how you perceive them are the factors that determine the effect they have on you. How to cultivate a Stoic gaze, a calm and objective method of viewing the situation, is the key to success. Learning to recognize the characteristics of poisonous conduct is a necessary step in this process. Listed below are some important warning signs. Constant criticism. A toxic individual may find nothing but fault with you, your conduct, or the decisions you make on a consistent basis. Although this criticism may be indirect or overt, it will always leave you feeling deflated and uncertain about your abilities. Manipulation. Toxic people frequently resort to deceptive strategies in order to achieve the goals they have set for themselves. In an effort to exert control over your conduct, they may resort to flattery, guilt trips, or even threats. Negativity. A toxic person appears to thrive on adversity. They are continuously whining and pulling others down with their pessimism so that they can focus on the worst aspects of the problems they are concerned with. Additionally, there are several types of toxic personalities that you should be aware of. The narcissist, a person who is constantly looking for approval and adoration throughout their life. It is possible that they are charming at first, but in the end, their interactions are one-sided, leaving you feeling emotionally exhausted. The gossip. This individual lives on social turmoil. They are known to propagate rumors, stir up trouble, and take pleasure in causing friction between other people. The energy vampire. This individual has the ability to drain your vitality. As the term suggests, interactions with them leave you feeling cognitively and emotionally drained and fatigued. The development of a mental map of the potential dangers that could befall your inner citadel can be accomplished by first gaining an awareness of the many toxic personalities and the actions they display. In the same way that a Roman Stoic philosopher like Seneca might devise a plan to combat an adversary on the battlefield, you may make use of your newly acquired awareness to anticipate the strategies employed by potentially harmful individuals and devise a strategy to safeguard your emotional well-being. Number 2, fortify your walls. Put yourself in the shoes of Marcus Aurelius, the famous Stoic emperor of Rome. In order to rule a vast empire, one needed to possess power, knowledge, and unyielding determination. When it comes to strengthening the walls of your own inner citadel, your emotional well-being, these same attributes are vital. Undoubtedly, the boundaries that you establish are the foundation of this citadel. When dealing with toxic people, boundaries are the clear lines you create to define what you will and will not accept. You should not permit poisonous people to intrude on your emotional territory in the same way that a powerful monarch would not permit his borders to be violated. This is where Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes reason and self-control, comes into play. To take the initial step, you must first determine which activities deplete your energy or violate your sense of self. Is it the persistent pessimism of a friend, the manipulative behavior of a coworker, the intrusive counsel of a family member? Be honest with yourself about what you will not tolerate. Once you have determined these boundaries, the next step is to communicate them clearly and concisely. Tap into your inner Marcus Aurelius and be firm while still being fair. To facilitate effective communication, consider the following strategies. Use I statements. Rather than making accusatory statements like, "You are always so negative," try saying, "I feel drained when you constantly focus on the unpleasant things." Be specific. Avoid vague language that leaves room for misunderstanding. Instead of saying, "I need some space," say, "I can't talk right now, but I'd be happy to chat later this week." Stay firm but kind. There is a difference between being assertive and being aggressive. Convey your point with confidence while avoiding hostility. However, setting boundaries is not a one-time event. When enforcing them, you need to be firm and consistent. Just like a Stoic ruler who is always on guard against barbarian invasions, a weak wall is easy to breach. If a toxic individual disregards your boundaries, calmly remind them of the limits you have set. If necessary, limit your interaction with the person or withdraw from the situation entirely. Keep in mind that setting boundaries is not about punishing someone. It is about protecting yourself. The Stoics vigorously avoided envy, a vice that often fuels toxic interactions. By establishing boundaries, you are not being selfish. You are simply safeguarding your emotional well-being and creating the space necessary to cultivate inner peace. Within the context of your Stoic journey toward a life of tranquility, a strong citadel with well-defined and well-defended boundaries is an essential component. Number 3, don't take the bait. Toxic people often cast a line baited with negative thoughts in the hopes of drawing you into a whirlpool of emotional drama. They dangle provocations, insults, or guilt trips, hoping to elicit a reaction that will fuel their negativity. This is a strategy many toxic people use, but Stoic philosophy offers a powerful defense: indifference. This is not the same as apathy. It is the state of being emotionally detached from something. The Stoics, particularly philosophers like Epictetus, distinguished between apathy and indifference. Apathy is a lack of concern and a state of listlessness, whereas indifference refers to a disconnection from unpleasant feelings and judgments that distort our reasoning. This distinction is crucial when dealing with toxic people. The first step is to be aware of the strategy. Become familiar with the telltale signs that a toxic individual is trying to lure you in. Is it a sarcastic remark, a veiled insult, or a guilt trip disguised as a suggestion? Once you recognize the strategy, you have already weakened its effectiveness. The bait is designed to provoke a response such as anger, annoyance, or defensiveness. So, it's important to detach from the emotional hook. Stoic indifference is a choice that allows you to avoid becoming emotionally entangled in negative situations. Imagine the bait hanging in the water. You observe it with cool composure, unaffected by its potential to upset you, and let the drama dissolve. When you don't respond to their negative comments, the power they have over you diminishes due to a lack of fuel. The drama they are trying to create can't last in the absence of a reaction. It is important to note that Stoicism doesn't call for becoming heartless or uncaring. Rather, it teaches us to detach from negative emotions that are beyond our control and focus on those that we can control. By practicing Stoic indifference, you can turn yourself from a passive participant in their drama into a peaceful observer. This practice demonstrates that you are unwilling to engage in their emotional web, and instead, you cultivate your own inner serenity, unaffected by the storms others try to generate. Number 4. The art of the non-reaction. Imagine a verbal gladiator, someone who is a master of insults and barbs, thriving on heated arguments. There are toxic individuals who thrive in this domain, using words as weapons to incite anger, humiliate you, and drag you into their emotional sphere. But Stoicism offers an effective, yet often underappreciated strategy: the art of the non-reaction. When deployed strategically, silence becomes a powerful weapon against a verbal assault, disrupting the dynamic they seek to create. Silence doesn't come easily for everyone, as the urge to answer, defend, or win the argument is deeply ingrained in us. Stoicism, however, teaches the importance of mastering our reactions, and a well-maintained stillness in the right moment demonstrates true control. To understand the power of non-reaction, consider the writings of Marcus Aurelius, the well-known Stoic Roman emperor. Toxic people often rely on a predictable pattern. They adopt a pessimistic tone and expect a reaction from you. When you respond with anger, annoyance, or defensiveness, you are feeding their fire and continuing the toxic dance. But when you remain silent, you disrupt this pattern. You deny them the emotional response they are seeking. Picture it like a tennis player swinging their racket toward an empty court. The ball falls with a thud, and the ensuing silence is complete. Silence, in this context, is not empty. It conveys meaning without words. It shows that you have self-control and refuse to participate in their negative behavior. The message you send is one of strength and detachment from their emotional manipulation. Marcus Aurelius advised us not to waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Become one instead. The attributes of a good Stoic are reflected in your quietness. You remain calm, reasonable, and unmoved by external provocations. When practicing the non-reaction, it is crucial to prepare yourself for escalation. Toxic people may intensify their efforts, throwing more verbal insults to provoke a response. But by keeping your composure and remaining silent, you demonstrate control over your own emotions. Remember, silence is not a sign of weakness. It is a powerful tool used by those who are truly strong. The non-reaction may not be applicable in every situation, but it is an essential weapon in your Stoic arsenal. It has the potential to disarm toxic individuals, defend your inner peace, and show that you have control over your emotions. When you choose quiet, you make a powerful statement by refusing to play their game. Our lives will be lighter and freer when we practice these principles. So, learn to turn down the bait of negativity, maintain your inner peace, and become an active participant in your own life. Thank you for watching, and always remember that your greatest strength lies in your ability to control yourself in every situation.